We've all been there, that moment when everything seems to fall apart and you're left wondering how to pick up the pieces. That awkward silence after a fight, the kind where words hang in the air unsaid and the tension is almost palpable. You know, the one where you can practically hear the crickets chirping in the background. Time seems to stretch endlessly, and every second feels like an eternity. It's like trying to have a conversation with a brick wall, except the brick wall is giving you the silent treatment. You speak, but your words bounce back, unheard and unacknowledged. And the worst part, trying to fix it. You try to mend the rift, but it feels like you're using duct tape on a leaky faucet. Temporary fixes that don't hold. Reconciliation attempts can be messy. Emotions run high, and sometimes it feels like you're just making things worse. It's like trying to put together a puzzle when you're missing half the pieces and the dog ate the instructions. Frustration builds and clarity seems out of reach. You say you're sorry, but it comes out sounding like a hostage video. The words are there, but the sincerity is lost in translation. They say they forgive you, but their eyes are still shooting daggers. The words "I forgive you" feel hollow, and the hurt lingers. It's enough to make you want to crawl under a rock and stay there. The weight of unresolved conflict can be overwhelming, but hey, at least we can laugh about it, right? Because in the end, laughter is the best way to heal. It reminds us that we're human and that mistakes are part of the journey. Okay, so maybe reconciliation isn't always a barrel of laughs. It can be awkward, uncomfortable, and sometimes even painful. But here's the thing, it's important. It's crucial for the health and longevity of our relationships. Relationships, much like houseplants, need constant care and attention. They require effort, patience, and a willingness to nurture. You can't just neglect them and expect them to thrive. Just like a plant will wither without water, a relationship will deteriorate without care. Forgiveness is the water that nourishes these relationships. It's the essential ingredient that keeps them alive and flourishing. It helps us move past the hurt and anger, allowing us to rebuild trust and connection. It opens the door to healing and growth. Without it, resentment festers, turning even the strongest bonds into brittle twigs. The weight of unresolved issues can break even the closest connections. Think about it. Life's too short to hold on to grudges. Time is precious, and we never know how much of it we have left. Wouldn't you rather spend your time laughing with loved ones than stewing in a pot of anger? Choose forgiveness, choose love, and watch your relationships bloom. Now I know what you're thinking, Trevor, you want me to forgive the one who ate the last cookie, the one who accidentally spilled coffee on my new shirt, the one who... You get the point. But here's the thing about forgiveness. It's not really about them, it's about you. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. It's self-sabotage at its finest. Forgiving someone doesn't mean condoning their actions. It simply means choosing to let go of the anger and resentment you're holding on to. It's a gift you give yourself. The Stoic philosophers, you know, the ones who seemed allergic to smiling, even they understood the importance of forgiveness. Marcus Aurelius, the OG emperor of wisdom, once said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." Think about that for a second. The best revenge isn't getting even, it's rising above the pettiness and choosing to be a better person. It's like showing your enemy a delicious plate of food and then eating it in front of them. Okay, maybe not exactly like that, but you get the idea. So how do we actually go about this whole reconciliation thing? It's not as simple as just saying, "I'm sorry," and moving on. There's a lot more to it. Well, it starts with communication, and not just any kind of communication, but not just any communication. We're talking about meaningful, heartfelt communication. We're talking about the kind of honest, open, and vulnerable conversation that makes you want to crawl under a table and hide. It's uncomfortable, but it's necessary. Start by acknowledging the hurt. Recognize the pain that has been caused and don't shy away from it. Own your part in the situation, because let's be real, there are always two sides to every story. Take responsibility for your actions and words. Listen to the other person's perspective, even if it makes you want to scream into a pillow. It's crucial to understand where they're coming from, and most importantly, be patient. Healing takes time, and rushing the process can do more harm than good. Reconciliation is a marathon, not a sprint. It's a long journey that requires endurance and commitment. It takes time to rebuild trust and heal old wounds. But with effort, understanding, and patience, it's possible to mend even the deepest rifts.